You know, one thing I love to tell a story about MSP that really speaks to my experience. I, as the first person in my immediate family to go to law school, I didn't know what to expect. And I got to school, and after my first semester, I questioned myself. I questioned whether I had what it takes to become a lawyer. And quite frankly, I was full of self-doubt. And I remember walking in to see Dean Janice Robinson. And Elvira always welcomed everyone with a smile, but she must have been able to catch or see that I needed a hug and that I needed her at that moment. And she gave me this warm embrace. And then I went in to go see Dean Jan, as we called her. And I told her what I was wrestling with and the feelings that I was struggling with. And Dean Jan, she knew exactly what to say to me. She knew exactly how to talk to me at that very moment, to encourage me, to give me great advice. And quite frankly, she was there at that critical point in my life. And it made all the difference. It turned me around. The next semester, I attacked, my studies as I knew I could. And I believed in myself. And I felt this tremendous sense of, I can do this. And that was just a moment. That was a defining moment for me. And I'm not sure if Dean Jan realizes that or not, but I hope she one day sees this and realizes that she really made the difference that day to this Cuban-Mexican woman. And Elvira with that hug, what can I say? It just made the difference in my life. Well, Rutgers has that reputation for diversity. And it really, it was a school that, quite frankly, just spoke to me. And its message in the program spoke to me. And the minute I came for orientation, and the minute that I stayed those 2 weeks, I knew I was home. And I knew I had a place to call my home away from home. And so it was a no-brainer then. And God was looking down on me and really made it possible for me that very day.
What was your first?
You know what I felt? I felt a sense of camaraderie. I made friends that I'm still friends with today. People like Ana Montero, Christy Payne Benitez. These are individuals that I am still close to today. And I would say it was struggling, and it was the late nights and the all-nighters, dare I say, but it was those moments that you felt like someone understood where you came from, what you wanted to do with your life, and was on that journey with you. And quite frankly, to see the diverse population, African American, Latinos, Asian Americans, people of all different walks of life, and we were all together, and we were all supporting one another. And it was amazing to experience that, and then to go out into the legal field and realize that there weren't always so many people that looked like you around the legal community. But it prepared me. It prepared me. I didn't isolate. And MSP, a lot of people believe that you isolate. You do not. But what it allows you to do is it allows you to go to that support network when you need it most. And quite frankly, I think it helped prepare me for the challenges that were ahead of me. I always tell this one. I remember practicing in a municipal court and walking in to where all the prosecutors, the prosecutor and all the attorneys congregate. And one attorney looked up and said, "Oh, thank goodness we have an interpreter this evening." And so at that very moment, I could have done one of two things. I could have gone Union City on them, as I like to say to people, or I could smile and say, "No, I'm sorry, I'm not the interpreter. My name's Esther Salas, I'm a new attorney. How nice to meet you." And I shook his hand, and at that very moment, I know how small he felt. And the people in that room also shuddered, but I turned it around on them. And quite frankly, I'm proud to say I think I got the best deal for my client that night, and I think I was the first one in and out. So it's those moments as a new Latina lawyer that you experience a moment that MSP helps prepare you for and help prepare me for. And of course, my mother helped prepare me for it because of I was able to smile and kill them with kindness, as they say. I think all you have to do is look at MSP alums to know what this program is about. The likes of Robert Menendez, Senator Menendez, Zulima Farber, Judge Fuentes, Camelia Valdez, those people that quite frankly show that this is not about handing something to people who don't deserve it. This is about giving people an opportunity and allowing them to shine, allowing them to show what they really have inside of them. And that is what MSP is about. And I think the notion that we don't have what it takes or that somehow someone handed something to us is nonsense. It's the ability to give people a fighting chance. People who otherwise perhaps never would have had that chance if it was not for MSP and what MSP stands for.
Change.
Quite frankly, I think it's critical for the legal community to represent the community it serves. It offers legitimacy. It also offers something that is very difficult to explain, but it's an issue of comfort, right? Whether you're charged with a federal crime or a state crime or a municipal crime, or you're litigating an issue in civil court, being involved in a legal case can be heartbreaking, it can be emotional, it can be unknown for many people. And so when you have lawyers that not only can represent you, but that you can also feel at ease with, that you can feel comfortable sharing your thoughts, sharing your facts, sharing your story, that's critical, I think, for the society at large. And it is important for us to remember that it should reflect or mirror the community it serves.
And having a defendant come before you.
I do. I often think that we are told as judges that we are to follow the law and only the law, and I believe that wholeheartedly. But I think something that we don't have to do is check our experiences when we put that robe on. We can be sympathetic. We can be empathetic. We can emote at times. We can show compassion when necessary. And those are things that, as a judge, you bring to the position, your life's experiences, always following the law and only the law, but not forgetting who you are, who your mother raised you to be. And that's something that I try to do each and every day, is show the litigants and the attorneys respect. It's about understanding that this is an important case to them. It may be one of 500 of your cases, but it is an important case for that individual or for that attorney or for that class of individuals. So one of the things that I think it is important for us to do is remember that we don't have to check ourselves at the door. We can obviously bring who we are to the position. And I think it's true as a lawyer as well. As a federal public defender, sometimes I was the first face that this individual was seeing after being arrested and held. And I think it helped to know that I spoke the language, to know that I understood. I think it helped their families to know that they could talk to me and that I would be there for them and help them through the process. And that is something that I take immense pride in, knowing that I was able to at times offer relief when somebody was struggling with an incredibly difficult situation.
Through this program.
Oh, this is a sisterhood, a brotherhood. This is a family. When I said, I honestly mean it. MSP is a family. When you see someone that you went to school with, or you know that someone's coming to you as an MSP grad, there's a smile that crosses your face, and it is something that's real and genuine. And that is something that I, quite frankly, experience every time I encounter MSP or its graduates. And it is, again, that sense of together, anything is possible. And you look at Senator Menendez, you look at Zulima Farber. I've hired several law clerks to clerk with me, and quite frankly, we all think the same, and we have nothing but fond emotions and fond memories of the MSP program. You know, I can't speak for firms, but I can speak for myself in terms of a law clerk. And I always encourage students that are interested in interning with me, people that are interested in clerking with me, to say proudly from the rooftops, I am an MSP grad, because that means a lot to me. I understand, again, you look at the likes of people who have graduated from the program and you can say it is a winning formula. It works. People like Senator Menendez, Zulima Farber, Miguel Pozo, Camelia Valdez, Judge Fuentes, Jose L. Fuentes. These are people that really represent the program in that you can obviously take someone, give them a chance, and give them the encouragement and the support, and they will blossom into the individuals that these great individuals are. And so for me, all I know is that when you say MSP to me, it means power, it means intelligence, it means strength, it means class. MSP means really, quite frankly, the best of the best in my mind. To be sworn in as the first Hispanic magistrate judge, male or female, and then the first Latina, I'm going to say the first thing was a sense of pride. I was beaming that day. I still beam when I talk about that moment for me, those moments. One, because they really speak to my mother and who she is and who she was for me growing up. And quite frankly, here is the woman with a 4th grade education who came from Cuba, who didn't speak the language, who had very little family here in this country. And yet she would come and would live through, unfortunately, a marriage that had, yes, mental and physical abuse. She would live through a fire in 1979 where she lost everything she had been working to build for herself and her 5 children. And then, of course, now with Alzheimer's, she struggles with Alzheimer's. So what it means for me is a sense of pride to know that I have come from such great roots. It also means humility, because my mother would kill me if it was any other way. I am so humble and so just appreciative to be here by God's grace. And then finally, it's a daunting responsibility, because you know that as the first, you better do a good job. You better make people proud. And I never want to let anyone down. I don't certainly want to let my mother down. I certainly don't want to let down Judge Linares, Chief Judge Linares, who was my mentor and best friend going through the process, and for the last 29 years, quite frankly. And then, of course, my husband and son, who I hope will always be proud of their mother, in particular, my son be proud of his mother and what I've done and what I have yet to do, I hope.
It's beautiful.
It's amazing to imagine that MSP has been shaping and changing lives for 50 years. It's just an amazing thought. And for me, it is about really shaping people's lives and the community that we serve. And to think that MSP's been doing it for 50 years just is just amazing, and it is incredibly important that we continue to do it for the next 50. So for me, I am so proud of the program, and I am so proud of what it's done and what it has yet to do for countless other young students and people that dare to dream about becoming a lawyer, about becoming a judge, about becoming a senator. Anything's possible, right? If you're given a chance. If people give you a chance, they believe in you, and they give you the tools you need to succeed. That's what MSP is about. And for the last 50 years, it's done it. And it's, I'm just glad to be a part of it in some small way. I'll tell you what I hope it means, and I know it means, knowing if we look back historically, it means giving these individuals an opportunity to succeed. It's about helping them understand their true potential. I think the biggest thing that we all struggle with is self-doubt, fear. And some of the students coming to the MSP program have heard nothing but no. You can't. That's impossible. And if they haven't heard those words, they've seen it. They've seen it on the streets where they live. And they wonder, is there any other life for me? And MSP gives them that opportunity to prove there is life for you. And all these students need is they need the support, encouragement, and quite frankly, the love that the program offers. And I know that sounds hokey, but it's not. It really is this feeling that you get from the program, that you can be who you are. You can look the way you're going to look. You can sound the way you sound. You can be who you are, and yet you can believe that you have yet to become someone else. That's, to me, an incredible thing that MSP offers. Quite frankly, I'm not sure if it's more important now than ever before. I think MSP is important, period, right? And for me, it is important because when we're talking about gender inequality, race, socioeconomic issues, we need to be mindful that there are individuals that have something to offer the legal community, that are unique, that bring those life's experiences to the table, and we're better for it. As a community, as a society, as a country, we're better for our diversity. And that's what we have to continue to remember, and that's what we have to continue to really promote, is that America is beautiful because of its diversity. I quite frankly think that we have come a long way. Yes, we have. But I think numbers will tell you that we need more female partners in big law firms. I would love some company on the federal bench in terms of more Latinas or quite frankly, any group. But it is important for us to be mindful that as far as we've come, we still have so far to go. And again, that's about working with people and their particular lives and understanding their challenges. And that's what MSP does. MSP allows you to really focus on the individual, their uniqueness, and allows us to sort of promote and encourage them to pursue whatever they want to pursue, utilizing their personalities, their backgrounds, their opinions of life. It is something that is really special. Oftentimes I feel like we are so busy trying to become something we're not. We're always so busy trying to, pretend we're someone we're not. And one of the things that MSP helped me do was really embrace who I was, to look in the mirror and like who I am, to appreciate my background, to be proud that I'm from Union City, that I'm from the fifth in my family, to be raised by such a powerful woman who may not have the degrees, but I can tell you I know no one who is as strong and intelligent as my mother. And what my mother taught me could not be learned in a book. And so for me, it is important that we be mindful that we have yet to tap into some individuals in this country, hundreds and thousands of individuals that are going to change this country for a better place. This world is going to make a difference. And we have yet to see what those individuals can accomplish. I think it was great to come to MSP and be surrounded by people that looked like me, sounded like me, had similar experiences. And it allowed me to tap into that support network. But it was a reality check when you get out and begin to practice that there aren't that many people that look like you. For me, I believe that my time at Rutgers MSP really solidified my self-confidence, my ability to sort of know it's okay. I know I have something to offer, and I was able to power through some tough times, being the only Latina in a situation, and that I believe is critical to MSP and what it taught me here, what those years taught me here, how to deal with adversity, how to deal with criticism, and how to really approach life when it's a challenge, when life's a challenge. I learned a lot of that in my formative years from my mother, and then MSP sort of took the baton and kept that going in terms of building that self-confidence and that pride in who I was. So I was able to weather some of those storms.